Hello, my name is Raja Moas from TT3L Group D, and today my group will be presenting about video game sales analysis. As you must know, the video game industry has evolved into one of the most profitable and influential genre in the entertainment industry. So, we chose to analyze a dataset that covers the sales of the gaming industry. The purpose of analyzing the dataset is to explore how video game sales have evolved over the years. And our posing question, or our main problem: what are the key factors that influence video game sales performance across time, genre, platforms, regions, and game quality? Alright, to start off with the first question: how do critic scores influence sales? For this, I included two diagrams, which is a heat map and a stacked bar chart. So for the heat map, it can be concluded that all regional sales columns mostly correlate strongly with each other. For instance, North American sales correlate strongly with European sales, that being 0.84. This suggests that success in one region usually mirrors success elsewhere. Like if there are high sales for that specific game in North America, it is most likely to be the same for Europe. On the other hand, sales for every region against critic scores shows weak but positive relationship. As you can see in the diagram, it is only blue for when regions are being against critic scores or critic scores against regions. Thus, higher critic scores means higher sales, but only slightly because they have a positive yet weak relationship, yet weak correlation and relationship. Thus, other variables may have bigger impact on sales, such as, let's say, marketing. Now, for the bar chart below, North America, it shows that North America and Europe contributes the most, that being the blue and the orange bars. Moreover, total global sales increase consistently across critic score bins from poor to excellent. This shows that there's a gradual increase in sales as there are an increase in critic scores. This reflects my previous statement. As I said, higher critic scores mean higher sales, although slightly, thus showing a positive relationship. Next.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Idul Hakim. I'm from Group D, and today I'm going to present sales over the years in the video game industry. So this first chart shows how global video game sales evolved from the early 1980s to around 2017. We can see that total sales started increasing steadily in the late 1990s, then peaked dramatically around 2008, reaching close to 670 million units sold globally. That peak coincides with the release of major consoles like the Wii, Xbox 360, and PS3, which helped drive the industry to record highs. After 2010, sales dropped sharply. This likely reflects a few major shifts like the rise of mobile gaming, digital distribution, and changes in how players access games. Regionally, North America and Europe dominate most of the sales. Japan had more stable but lower figures throughout, and other regions grew slowly but consistently. So for the second slide that I'm going to present is the release trends and market saturation. What really happened after 2008? We dive into how the number of games released each year relates to those sales trends. So on the left, we can see that game releases peaked between 2008 and 2010, with over 1,400 titles launched each year during that time. But on the right, we see that average global sales per game were already declining by 2005, even before the release peak. So this means more games were coming out, but fewer were doing well individually. This suggests that the market was becoming saturated. There were just too many games for any one title to stand out. And by the mid 2010s, the industry was shifting again. Digital stores like Steam and mobile platforms became dominant, and indie games started growing fast. So the success of a game wasn't just about sales numbers anymore, it was about finding your audience in a much more crowded space.
Hello, I am Liu Jinhao. I'll be answering the question, how do sales figures vary across different gaming platforms? First, we have a box plot here showing platforms like NES, GB, and Atari 2600 have higher median global sales per game. Wii has many outliers, meaning they produce numerous best-selling titles. Older or niche platforms like DC, PSV, and SAT consistently underperformed. Next, we have a stack bar chart revealing that PS2 dominates global sales, with X360 close behind, especially in North America and Europe. Japan-native platforms like PS3, Wii, DS, and PS show more balanced performance globally. North America appears to be the largest market contributor for nearly all platforms, followed by Europe. This finding suggests platform success can come from both consistency and blockbuster hits. Regional performance matters, as some platforms thrive in North America and Europe, others in Japan. This means that developers should target DS and PS and their newer versions for globally oriented games. However, investors should be careful of platforms with broad spread, like Wii and DS, as their higher potential also comes with higher risk.
Thank you, bro. That was a wonderful presentation. Hello, everyone. My name is Lognesh Raj. Today, I will show how video games genre perform across four major regions. On the left, we see total sales by genre and region. Action, sport, and shooter titles dominate North America and Europe, each exceeding 500 million units. Role playing games lead in Japan with over 350 million units sold, while rest of the world market remains smaller but steady across all genres. On the right, you can see each genre share of global sales. Shooter draws about 56% from North America, RPGs are 38%, Japan lead, puzzle and simulation split fairly evenly, and rest of the world contributes roughly 10% across the board. On the next, here we profile the top 5 genres: action, platform, RPG, shooter, and sport across each region. Action and sport maintain strong, linear profile in every market. Shooter falls off sharply in Japan, highlighting local tastes. RPGs peak only in Japan and then dip in the West and rest of the world. Platform titles sit in the mid range everywhere, suggesting uh, a broad but moderate appeal. These fingerprints shows why genre strategies must watch regional preferences rather than pursue one size fits all. Finally, overall, our analysis shows that console-driven sales peaked around 2008 and then shifted towards digital. Regionally, action shooter and lead in the North America and Europe. RPG rules Japan, and rest of the world, while smaller, offer room to grow. Critics score matter only so much. Lasting success depends on strong franchises, targeted marketing, and platform strategy. That's all from me. Thank you very much.
All right, now for the findings and insights derived from the conclusion. First of all, while better reviewed games tend to perform better commercially, the effect is modest. This means that critic scores only has a small impact upon sales. The trend in sales over the years reflects the success of new consoles such as Wii, PS3, Xbox 360, followed by market saturation, the rise of digital distribution, and changes in consumer behavior. Market saturation happens when there's like a whole bunch of release of new games, and digital distribution is when people can begin playing online instead of buying the video games physically. Next, platform success depends on both hardware popularity and software exclusives. Software exclusives such as Mario, which can only be played on Nintendo or Wii. This is often linked to publisher or franchise strength. It can also be concluded that regional cultural preferences strongly influence genre performance. And last but not least, developers should localize content and align genre choices with regional audience tastes because since regional cultural preferences influence the genre performance. Thank you. That's all for us.